My brothers and sisters, what's going on, everybody? This is Steel Sermon in the house. Sunday evening, just got done watching Game 4 of this four-game series between the Pirates and the Cardinals. Tough loss today. Cardinals take it 5-4 as, I'm not in love with a split, but considering that we probably could have lost 3 out of 4 in this series, you take it, you move on to your next opponent. We go to Denver next to play the Rockies. That's a team that we should beat, in my opinion, but, nothing's a given in the majors. And as always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Link is posted in the box. So, before I recap, I just want to do this, okay? Congratulations to the Cardinals. Congratulations for their win today. When it was 3-1, I thought we had him on the ropes. I thought that, Keller had him in check. Keller, he pitched a great game once again today. I think Mitch Keller has figured it out. He throws a bad pitch to Lars Nootbaar, crushes it, tied game 3-3. You feel bad for Mitch. This is why, when you're a pitcher, you have to rely on your offense to counter you some runs. And I knew that when in the fourth inning, when the Bucks left the bases loaded and we didn't cash in on that, I knew that was going to come back and bite us. That's what I was afraid was going to happen, and it most certainly did. Pirates had some situations yesterday where they should have taken advantage as well. And the game yesterday probably should not have gone to extra innings because Pirates left too many runners on. So even though it was a win Saturday and a loss today, just too many. The bottom line is too many runners left on base is going to come back and haunt you. And you feel bad for Keller. Did everything he could to win this game, let down by the offense. So, not using it as an excuse, though. Cardinals, they took advantage of our mistakes, and they made us pay for it. I did not like the intentional walk in the bottom of the 10th. I did not like that shift in the bottom of the 10th. I thought that was going to really do some more bad than good for us, which is why I keep saying we lose a lot of games because of Derek Shelton. He's just a bad manager, and that challenge that he had in the 7th inning where I think it was Hayes, he was clearly out at second, should not have challenged that at all. Just a really bad challenge, but like I said, I'm not using those as excuses. We had the game in the bag, we blew it, and we couldn't do anything with it. So for that, I say congrats to the Cardinals. It was a series split, so I can't really come on here and say I told you so, but I did say that we weren't going to lie down in this series. We battled through all 4 games, in my opinion, but it just comes down to who's going to make less mistakes. So congrats to the Cardinals. You won today. We'll see you in June when you come to our place. So you're probably thinking to yourself, why on earth is Steel Sermon coming on here and giving credit to the Cardinals? Well, the answer is simple. It's because I ain't St. Louis. And what I mean by that is that the only thing that I'm going to rip into in this video is the god-awful announcers that the Cardinals have. Okay? I have limited coverage and limited access to Pittsburgh sports broadcasting here in Ohio, so I don't really get a whole lot of Greg Brown and Joe Block. So I have to be settled sometimes with the opposing team's broadcasting crew, and yesterday and today, I was subjected to it. I think I may have found the one thing that I actually hate more than the actual team and the fan base, and that's their frickin' announcer crew. And that's really saying something. I have never heard a more arrogant, biased, and just self-righteous broadcasting crew in my life. And that's saying something, man. I've heard a lot of bad play-by-play. You are a professional play-by-play announcer and color commentator, and I get that it's your team that you're covering, but geez, man, you can't give the Pirates any credit for anything at all. There were a boatload of comments that they made over the course of the past 2 days that I just found completely egregious. And I'm like, geez, no wonder why I hate this team so much. Yeah, the playoff series sucked, but you know what? I think this may be the biggest reason I hate them now. It's because of their just complete bliss, arrogance, and just complete homer and bias, man. So without further ado, I'm going to narrow it down to the top 5 worst calls I have heard from the Cardinals broadcasting crew this weekend. And it's a miracle that I was able to narrow it down to 5, because if I was going to sit here and say 50, I'd be here for 3 hours. Not even kidding. But number 5 came from today. Nolan Arenado makes a great play at short where he barehands it, and he created some space for himself at a third, and he threw the runner out. Cardinals announcers are like, oh, what a play by Nolan Arenado. It was a great play. Oh, but Ke'Bryan Hayes extends his glove out to rob, the runner, to rob, I don't remember who it was, but basically to rob extra bases from the Cardinals, and Hayes made a great play. And what do the Cardinals announcers say? Oh, well, he almost snuck it past Hayes right there. Like, seriously, man? That's a great play by Ke'Bryan Hayes. You can't give him any credit at all. Reminded me of when Ke'Bryan Hayes made a great play also in Busch a couple years ago, where he threw out Yadier Molina on a spectacular half-circle, half-revolution throw to first. And he got Yadi. And all the Cardinals fans and announcers were saying, well, Yadi's just the slowest base runner in the league. Anyone could have made that throw. No, bitch. It takes a great defensive-minded player who's a Gold Glove candidate to make a play like that. Not just anyone can make that play. That drove me nuts. It's automatically a great play for Nolan. Oh, but for Ke'Bryan Hayes, it's almost a base hit. Get out of here. Number 4 came in the 4th inning, I believe. Carlos Santana strikes out swinging, and the announcer goes, oh, that's a big pitch for Michaelis right there. Are you kidding me, man? That was not a big pitch at all. It was a fastball that was a foot off the plate, and Santana chased it. It's a bad swing at a bad pitch. That was not a big pitch at all. He lays off of that, it's ball 3. Get out of here with that, man. Let's see. Number 3 came from yesterday. Well, these are 2 small market franchises here, but the Cardinals generally spend more than the Pirates do. Well, if they're 2 small market franchises, why even bother bringing that up? It just makes no sense whatsoever. I can't stand that, man. I really can't. Number 2 also came from today, where they were, I swear, I cannot believe this is a close second. So, you guys know what happened with Rodolfo Castro last year, where he got busted, using his cell phone when he was sliding into second base. This guy tore up St. Louis pretty much all weekend. All weekend he tore him up. And instead of giving him credit, and instead of saying, well, this is a young guy who's figuring it out, the Cardinals announcers, they're just roasting him about his cell phone usage. All that stuff. Oh, this guy got busted sliding with his phone in his pocket. That's hilarious. Yeah, you want to know what was more hilarious? The very next pitch after that happened, bloop single that scored a run to make it 3-1. And that allowed Castro to move to second, and then not so soon after that, Castro made a great defensive play. So what do you got to say about that? Just pisses me off, man. And I think the number 1 worst call, the absolute worst, was from yesterday. Andrew McCutchen, pretty much, well, it wasn't a walk-off, but Andrew McCutchen hits a 2-run go-ahead homer yesterday in the top of the 10th to make it 5-3. And then, 2 minutes later after that, the Cardinals announcers are going well, the Pirates just haven't played anyone good yet. They have yet to play a winning team. They're 8-6, but they haven't played a winner yet. First of all, that's not true. Because we literally, coming into this series, we played the Houston Astros, the defending champs. It doesn't matter if they don't have a winning record or not. They're still the defending champs. They're still a good team. So number one, that just makes no sense whatsoever. And number two, I beg your pardon, we haven't played anyone good? We haven't beaten anyone good? I thought the Pirates weren't supposed to be able to beat anybody. I thought the Pirates were just a pushover. Now, see, I love how that gets flipped. Because we beat you twice. I thought it's the same old Pirates. I thought, we're a pushover. I thought this was a guaranteed sweep for the Cardinals. What's wrong? It's a lot harder when the Pirates are actually half decent and when the Pirates are actually being competitive, ain't it? But we haven't played anyone good. Yeah, okay. I mean, we're 9-7. You're 7-9, so there's that. I cannot stand that announcing crew. I cannot stand it. And, you could say what you want about Greg Brown and Joe Block. They can be incredibly boring at times. I get that. You could say what you want about that. But you know what? At least those two don't have criminal charges and DUI cases on them. Right, Dan McLaughlin? I guess that's why you checked out of the broadcasting booth in St. Louis, right? Because you can't put the bottle down. You got 3 freaking DUIs. World-class St. Louis, huh? But anyway, Thursday was a phenomenal game. Vince Velasquez just pitched a beauty on Thursday night. Went 6 innings, struck out 6 batters. Ji-Hwan Bae, 2 incredible catches in the outfield. Carlos Santana driving in runs. Connor Joe and Rodolfo Castro, the cell phone guys, St. Louis, they went back-to-back on Thursday night to make it 5-0 Bucks. We took that one. Friday night was a tough one. I mean, Johan Oviedo, who we got from St. Louis, actually, he couldn't have pitched a better game. He could not have pitched a better game Friday night. 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, gave up 1 run, and struck out 10. Let down by the offense. It just seems like, it's a recurring theme. Every single time we get a strong outing from our starter, the offense can't back them up. That's why the one thing that I still maintain from last year, from all my rants about the Pirates from last year, is that I feel so bad for these starters. I really do. Because if someone makes an error, or if someone, gives up a home run, they're probably not going to win the game because the offense just never backs them up. And I know that O'Neal Cruz is hurt, but that's the easy way out, man. We're going to miss O'Neal Cruz for 4 months. That's the easy way out. You have to be able to pick up your teammates when you have the bases loaded. And Johan Oviedo, he's got great stuff. I really do think that he's our best. I really do think he's the best in the rotation so far. All the credit in the world to Roansy Contreras. He pitched a great game Saturday. All the credit in the world. But if you ask me who I think the best starter is, it has to be Oviedo. He's pitching so well so far. And then speaking of yesterday, it was a great win yesterday. 6-3, we got it done over St. Louis. Ke'Bryan Hayes led it off with a solo homer. Then we had a bases-loaded walk, which, drew up some controversy. But you know what? With the frickin' announcing crew, I don't feel bad for St. Louis. They get every frickin' call. But anyway, of course, there was Andrew McCutchen who hit the 2-run homer, and then Castro drove in the go-ahead run with a double to make it 6-3. And we took it 6-3. Today was a tough one. We're up 3-1. as I said in the beginning, you can't leave that many runners on. You can't, hopefully it's just a growing pain issue for this team moving forward, and hopefully that with or without Cruz, they iron out that flaw. The bottom line for today's game, you can't have sloppy defense in an inopportune time, and you can't leave that many runners on base, plain and simple. So, am I in love with a split with the Cardinals? No, but it's better than the alternative. We could easily have lost yesterday, and we lost today, and then, of course, we lost Friday night. We could have lost 3 out of 4 to these guys, but a split is better than that, and I don't think any team was going to get a sweep in this series looking back on it. It was either going to be us taking 3 of 4 or St. Louis taking 3 of 4. You know, we should have won this series too if it wasn't for all the base runners that we left on, and if it wasn't for... And I'm not saying that defense in the 10th inning, screwed us out of winning the series, because obviously we gave up the double before that to Paul Goldschmidt. But the bottom line is, you make too many mistakes. No matter who you play out there, a team's going to take advantage. Yeah, no matter who you play. Okay? Doesn't matter if they're 20 games under 500. Doesn't matter if they're 2 games under 500. Fact of the matter is, okay, this ain't the NBA. This ain't the NFL. This ain't the NHL where you play once a week or once every other few days. This is the MLB, a 162-game marathon where you are going out there pretty much every single day playing the same opponent multiple times. It don't matter how bad or good they are. You find ways to win. Plain and simple. So like I said, get out of here with this, we haven't beaten anybody. We haven't beaten a winning team. So explain the walk-off that we had against the Astros the other day by Ji-Hwan Bae. You people act like the Pirates have the option to choose who we want to play on the schedule. You can only play who's on your schedule every day. Our next off day is after the 4th game of a 4-game series against the Reds this coming weekend. So get out of here with that. I can't stand it when people say that. And I feel bad for Tampa Bay Rays fans, They start the season off 13-0. And everyone's saying, oh, they've played weak opponents. Like I said, you play almost every day. And for 13 straight games, Tampa Bay found a way to win. And they're 14-2 now. I can't stand it when people say that, man. If it's so easy, you go out there and play. You get your butt out there and play if it's so easy. Can't stand that. But regardless, we leave St. Louis with a split. Next time we play them, as I said, is beginning of June. That's a 3-game set in Pittsburgh. Next up, we go to Denver to play the Rockies. Hopefully, we can have a little bit of better luck there. But, yeah, we got some work to do. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. May God be with you all.